They're lying to us about what is happening. Now, here's the good news in that line. This is not 1929, where a paper boy is running down the street. Hear ye, the banks are collapsing. You and I are communicating right now on a social media platform. We have data, and you got to clear the noise. This week is going to be a very, very critical week. Tomorrow, I'll be doing a video on the significance of December 19th, where there's going to be interest rates raising in another country that could dramatically affect the markets. But remember, if everybody's doing it, you probably shouldn't. When everybody's running from the market, you should probably be getting in. When everybody's trying to get rich quick, you should probably be getting some profits off the table. So this channel is all about being stoic, about being calm, and understanding the macro and microeconomic effects that are happening right now. What they're lying to us about is, guys, they can't get out of this debt crisis. We have more debt than we have income. Countries around the world are in a liquidity crisis. And the beautiful thing about that is that you are experiencing one of the greatest financial transitions that we will not experience over the next 100 years. Our children will not experience this, maybe not even our grandchildren. You are positioned where you can make an informed decision on what you believe is the new financial rails of the system, because there's nothing to fix, guys. They've driven off the cliff. But what they're doing is the net is a new system. So as they tell you to look this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. So we're going to break down stablecoins, what they're doing with stablecoins. I'm going to give you my opinion of what they're doing with Bitcoin. And on the back end of every video, incessantly, repetitively, I share with you exactly what I'm doing and how I'm positioning myself. You do your own research. But I think it's better that I be transparent and honest so you can measure my success from 2025 to 2030, just like you can measure my success from 2020 to 2025. It's all about transparency. That's the era we're in. Okay, so we're going to dive right in. The first thing that we're going to look at is a post that was put out by James Lavish. And I love Fruition Productions' comment here, but they said the Great Reset will have to occur soon. Otherwise, hyperinflation will take place. I've been sharing with you guys that exact comment. By 2029, guys, you can't just print money in a low interest rate environment. I believe 2026 is going to be very bullish for the markets. Okay. They already started buying back, buying back debt. Quantitative tightening stopped. Quantitative easing has stopped. They're going to bring down real interest rates as low as possible if Trump gets his way. But that devalues your currency. So my capital DR strategy is all based on not assets. It's based on beating inflation. I use the assets, the tools to beat inflation. I use the assets, the tool to make sure I'm in scarce assets that will be here over the next 100 years. Okay. So he posted, it says it's simple. The government cannot pay its debts and will continue to print money ad infinitum. They're just going to keep printing. Focused on first principles and on assets that protect yourself from this reality. That's it. Forget the hype, forget the price predictions. That's your job. Your job is to protect yourself over the next 5 years as they transition this system to 2030, guys. So look at the US debt and the US GDP. Okay, if you look right here, this goes back to 1992. Okay, then it really accelerated 2010 to 2014. That was a huge gap. And then look how much it shot up from 2020 to where we're at today. The US debt continues to rise over GDP. We're at 120% debt to income ratio. China's at 300% debt to income ratio. Guys, the system is in a reset. I know you want to believe that it's like a flip of a switch and these people, tell you the price is going to go here. You got to get out of that mindset. Warren Buffett had a drawdown of 50% one time. He didn't even blink. Buy good companies at a fair price and hold the line. Markets always come back if you're in investments that are going to be here for the long term. So that's your hint right there. Okay. You're going to have to beat inflation. But here's what's actually happening. Okay. The rise of stablecoins and the implication of treasury markets. The rise of stablecoins is not by chance, guys. I'm going to remind you with 2 videos that I like to show things that I do the reason why I repeat the same things and I show you the same things is because your attention span is like this, guys. I post and ghost. What I do is I post. I don't consume social media. Only thing I consume, anything on social or anything I use YouTube, and anything on social is all around spiritual, physical, and financial. I post, I comment to a few positive people out there, and I ignore the noise. Okay. You have to study and understand what is actually happening. And the reason why I show you guys the same things over and over again, because I'm not looking for everybody. I'm looking for the one somebody who understands discipline and consistency. I'm going to show you 2 videos that I've showed you incessantly because Trump said you're going to be on an even playing field monetarily. They knew this was coming, guys. So stable coins, remember, let's just do a little deeper education here. Stable coins are stable because of what? They use US Treasuries, short-term treasury bonds. 60% of stable coins are US Treasuries. So Trump trumped everybody by creating his own stablecoin, USD1, through World Liberty Financial. The Trump family foundation runs it. Witkoff runs it. They have Trump Media, which is a top Bitcoin treasury. You have American Bitcoin. American Bitcoin just went over 5,000 Bitcoin. They just shot over GameStop. I got to see what their ranking is now. They're probably number 19, I think, now in Bitcoin treasuries. We started getting into XXI, Bitcoin treasury. Okay, so we got American Bitcoin, we got WFI. They have USD1, which is a stable coin. But introduction, stable coins are typically centrally issued crypto assets that aim to have a stable price through reserved assets. The most popular stablecoins are pegged to the US dollar and backed by reserves, US treasuries, and other assets. They have the potential to rapidly become critical elements of the global financial system. Stablecoins have experienced remarkable growth rates since recent years, with 2 of the largest coins, USD Tether, USDT, and USDC Circle, who just got their bank charter, Ripple just got their bank charter, leading the ranks. That's a hint right there, guys. Banks are all going to operate on a stable coin. Well, the 10th largest stablecoin pegged to the US dollar, so far over 80% of stablecoin transactions occur outside the United States. That's your hint right there. Okay. Stablecoins are increasingly being used for cross-border transactions, and this growth is contributing to the rising demand for short-term US debt, which the important implications for the US financial stability. We were literally going off of a cliff, guys. Trump created the Stablecoin Act. He had USD1, had Bo Hines go grab Tether, pull it into America, USAT. But most stablecoin transactions are done outside the US. So he literally saved the US economy through stablecoins. The next 4 years, listen to me, the next 4 years for you is going to be unbelievably critical. Men, head of household, women, head of household, you need to lock the F in right now. I would create a budget. I'd go down to one vehicle. I would get as lean and mean as possible. And you need to transition your assets into something that is going to hold through the inflationary back end in the next 4 years, that has fixed supplies, that's opposite of this collapsing US and world financial system that is a debt-based monetary system. We're going into an asset-backed type of currency in a digital currency way in an even playing field. Every single bank will have a stable coin. Now, stable coins, all it is stable one-to-one. That's not an investment. Okay. But you're going to see countries, companies. There was 0 Bitcoin treasuries by 2020. Michael Saylor was the first. There's hundreds of Bitcoin treasuries now. They're going to use Bitcoin as the new gold. They're going to revalue gold, probably the 1974, 1973 gold, to current day valuation. They're going to buy it in a budget neutral way. They're going to hold it on the balance sheet. They're not going to sell it. I'm just modeling what they're doing. We're holding on the balance sheet for our company. I'm holding on the balance sheet for my family treasury. And I'm using things like XRP as the bridge currency and the monetary system rewiring. Okay. So this shows you kind of a clearer picture here. So I want you to notice a few things here. So here's USDT and here's USDC. That circled just became a chartered bank that's connected to BlackRock. USDT, which was a foreign stable coin, which is now connected to America through Bo Hines, the executive director for digital assets, left. Okay. To go to US Tether and bring it into America. See, my battery is not plugged in. My battery's not working here. Okay, so I just want to make sure I have enough battery here. USDT. I'm excited to be back in my studio, by the way. So we got USDT, USDC, but look at this. When Trump got elected, look at the growth, guys. I'm telling you, this is it. You're literally getting the hint. It's stable coins, stable coins. Clarity Act is coming. It's getting delayed. It's coming, guys. Okay, this Friday is going to be really important. When you see Japan raise interest rates, okay, 1980s, I'm gonna break this down for you tomorrow. You're probably gonna see a market pullback this Friday. Don't freak out. We love market pullbacks. I love this sideways action. because I know exactly where my family's going to be by 2030, just like I knew where my family was going to be by 2025. Okay. So this is going into America is drowning 38 trillion of debt. Is crypto becoming the plan B? US debt is soaring and interest rate costs are compounding daily. Crypto isn't a cure-all, but it can reduce payment friction. Hence XRP and Ripple. Settlement times and tax reporting. Tokenized treasuries can expand investments to 24/7 global buyer base, bringing in liquidity. Write down the word liquidity. Okay. Write down the word settlement times. Operational risk means public entities should focus on simple solutions, stable coins, Bitcoin, over complex ones, decentralized finance. What you are going to see, okay, if you're worried about your country's debasing your currency, I'll let you listen to Larry Fink once again. But you're worried about your country's debasing your currency, maybe you should get into a deflationary asset that has a fixed supply, has a transition system. Maybe you should understand that things that you should invest in are going to fix the liquidity crisis. They need money to move really fast to fix this. XRP moves money really, really fast. XLM, bridge currency. Some people like XDC. I'm going to share with you what I like. There's a lot of different things out there, guys. Think about this, guys. You got XRP, Bitcoin, Solana and Ripple teamed up. Guys, all it is a rewiring of the system. Ripple got their bank charter. Circle got their bank charter. Kraken's going to get their bank charter. Coinbase is going to be a bank. They'll be next. But let's listen to what they have to say.
As you know, I was a skeptic. Yes. I was a proud skeptic. And I studied it, learned about it, and I came away saying, okay, my opinion 5 years ago was wrong. Here's my opinion today. This is what I believe in today. I believe the opportunity today. I believe Bitcoin is legitimate. I'm not trying to say there's not misuses like everything else, but it is a legitimate financial instrument that allows you to have maybe uncorrelated, non-correlated type of returns. I believe it is an instrument that you invest in when you're more frightened, though. It is an instrument when you believe that countries are debasing their currency, debasing their currency by excess deficits, and some countries are.
Some countries are. He's talking about America. Okay. He's talking about America. These are just facts, figures, numbers, logic, family, no emotion. Okay, so why do you think the Trump family, Trump media, has a massive Bitcoin treasury? Why do you think Eric Trump created Bitcoin mining? They're climbing up the ranks. Why do you think XXI just hit the stock market, which is a Bitcoin treasury? He says it's not a Bitcoin treasury, is a Bitcoin treasury, where he's adding products to it, though. He said he's going to really decouple himself from the Michael Saylor type model. Michael Saylor is just straight a Bitcoin treasury, which is the #1 Bitcoin treasury. Why do you think BlackRock is the #3 holder in MicroStrategies or Strategy B, a Bitcoin treasury? Okay. You got to get out of the noise, guys. Signal. What's Kevin O'Leary, right? Talks about signal. Signals. What is the #1 priority thing that'll move your family forward? The top 3 things. Okay. So I'm very, like in business, I'm single. 80% signal. I focus on the 3 things today on Monday, what will drive my ecosystem forward: family, ecosystem, and business. Okay. Then when it comes to my investment, it's all signal, no noise, no price predictions, no bullshit. It's like, here's what I believe will move my family forward. Am I going to get it all right? No, but I'm convicted on what I'm doing, and I get really clear and I get really disciplined. Okay. We're going to go back and listen to this video probably 5 million times on my channel, because I want to remind you, he was already setting this up in 2017.
That will all work out very well for everybody: China, Japan, the United States, and everybody in the region. As far as the currency devaluations, I've been complaining about that for a long time. And I believe that we will all eventually, and probably very much sooner than a lot of people understand or think, we will be all at a level playing field, because that's the only way it's fair. That's the only way that you can fairly compete in trade and other things.
Okay. I don't know how more clear they both can be. You're worried about your country's debasement of your currency. He just said, Larry Fink, Trump, if you're worried about your country's debasement of your currency, okay, cool. So if you're worried about your country's debasement of your currency, would you really want to lower interest rates and print as much money as humanly possible unless you had a plan to transition into. There's only one end result to printing money in a low interest rate environment. There's only one ending result. It's common sense. It's the devaluation of your currency. Or you start sucking it all into stable coins, which makes the dollar stable, which makes US even more dominant of a currency. And then Trump creates a world liberty financial, a world bank that's on an even playing field before we know it monetarily, world liberty financial, where every single person, it doesn't matter if you're in America, Zimbabwe, Japan, China, anybody can use world liberty financial. It's a stable coin. Anybody can go peer to peer. It's a systematic shift. So that's how I make my decisions. So first of all, I'm not market sensitive. I'm not price sensitive. I'm fundamental sensitive. I'm Warren Buffett style and sensitive, intelligent investor. I buy good technologies and companies at a fair price, and I love red. Absolutely love red. This sideways action since he did the tariffs has been just a blessing, an absolute blessing. My brain is stuck on 2030, and I'll create my new plan from 2030 and beyond. I cannot believe that I keep getting to buy XRP under $2. Okay, so I'm extremely disciplined. First of all of you should download Merlin. I'm the co-founder and creator of this. We do not hold your keys or your crypto. This is an interface. It shows you all your markets in one place. Check this out. Organizes all your, I was just traveling out of the country. I just came back. This is the only way I look at my crypto. This is it. No, it's not connected to your exchanges. It's an interface. So if somebody hacks my Merlin, they can't get my crypto. So it shows everything. I can set up exit plans, profit taking plans. Okay. You can see all the markets in one snapshot. You can see all your news in one snapshot, keeps you safe. Then you're like, well, man, how do I get started? How do I set up a profit taking plan? Boom. We teach you. We walk you through it step by step. So you can try this 30 days for free. Trust me, you're going to love it. So go down below in the description of my video, try it before you buy it. Okay. Go to my social media platform, click the link, download it. You can see all your exchanges in one place. You can get organized. Okay. As I always do, I share with you exactly what I'm doing and the logic behind it. I invented what's called Capital DR, and I'm going to be spending 2026 building out a book to explain this at a very deep level. The system that I created is not based on what assets you should buy. It's based on a system that is macro and microeconomically protected. Okay. It will allow you to master any cycle. Okay. The fact is we do the opposite of the 99%. The 1% controls almost 97% of the wealth. Only 10% of the population's in the market. Okay. It's the same thing. Everything cycles, real estate cycles, crypto cycles, stock cycle, you cycle, the ocean cycles, the sun cycles, everything cycles. It's not different this time. Please listen to me. It is not different this time. We don't follow price predictions. We don't follow hype that wrecks your portfolios. If it hits these exorbitant prices, fantastic. We calmly feed the ecosystem. Discipline, consistency, and diversification is how you win. So the question I have for you, rhetorical, please answer the question. If I asked you, what is your daily actions? What is your weekly actions? What is your monthly actions? What is your quarterly action? What is your 5 and 10 year plan for your finances and your ecosystem? Would you be able to answer that question? I can unequivocally. I know exactly where we're going to be by 2029. I know exactly where we're going to be in 2025. I know exactly where I'm going to be in the next 90 days. And I reverse engine to daily. So daily, I dollar cost average every single day into cryptocurrency. I use Bitcoin and XRP. I use Capital DR, cash flow. Cash is trash. Why would I store something that they're going to continue to devalue over and over and over again? You see $10,000 in your bank account. I see your money becoming worthless. I take my worthless income, okay, which is debt, and I transmute it into A, which is assets, okay? Assets, I'm focused on fixed supply assets that are going to help me with the devaluation of my currency and hold value and be part of the system for the next 100 years. And I'll explain my assets in just a moment. And then when I profit from these assets, I'm not foolish. I don't sit there and rubberneck and watch it go up and down. How's that been feeling for the last 6 to 7 months when you thought that all these cryptos are going to be at a massive price and you were going to be this multimillionaire? We became multimillionaires because we took profits By using our Merlin. When we took profits, we stuffed it into protection, which created a family bank. When we had family banks, we leverage when everybody's panicking. So when this thing goes into a massive bear market, I can't wait. I will have richest man in Babylon. I'll be able to leverage. All of you should read the book, Richest Man in Babylon. I'll use leverage to create a brother or sister to only buy cash for an asset that will appreciate. And I only use leverage on a side that either is low leverage where I buy cash flow, or I use leverage in something that comes off my death benefit, which is my insurance policies that I can buy at 5% to crush the hurdle rate. So let's go back to cash flow. Okay. During last bull run, 2020 to 2022, I didn't buy Lambos, houses, and big watches. I bought businesses and scaled businesses. I was building businesses and I used my money to scale my businesses. Okay. So we created businesses that have monthly recurring revenue. We have businesses in information, technology, attention, and financial services. Okay. We also have a software company. So we created, which created Merlin. We have multiple companies. I don't want to own a million different companies. That is not my goal in life. Okay. My goal is to become a Warren Buffett type model, a Ray Dalio type model. I'm obsessed with investing. I think it's so much fun. It's so much fun. It's exciting. I love picking cool companies. The XXI move, the American Bitcoin, like this stuff is exciting to me. It just lights me up. Okay. So I found my zone of genius. I'm really good at it. I'm really, really good at it. So I'm staying in my circle of competency. I'm really good at running businesses. I'm really good at scaling businesses. So I'm able to identify good companies at a fair price. Warren Buffett. I obsessively study Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, and you should find your zone of genius and you should be excited and brag about what you're good at. For example, that's why I love Alex Hormozi. He's like, listen, he was talking about crypto one time. He's like, I got into it. He's like, it's not my zone of genius. He didn't say zone of genius, but he's like, maybe he did say that. He's like, this isn't my zone of genius. Business is his zone of genius. I'm really good at business, but I'm also really good at investing and studying. And I have a logical circuit. Okay. So cash flow. When I get paid income from my cash generating business, I take 10% of my income and I put it into cash generating dividends. So now I have multiple sources of income. So happy and grateful for the money that comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis. Now I have multiple income coming in multiple times. When it comes in, boom, I put it into assets. Okay, I'm giving you the whole blueprint. The assets that I am focused on by 2030. I have many other assets, but I'm going to share with you what I am focused on. XRP is number one by a long shot. I buy it every single day. XRP, Bitcoin's number two. I buy it every single day. Dollar cost average comes out of my bank account. Boom. I buy it every day. So every single day, I'm buying a little bit of XRP, a little bit of Bitcoin. Every day, my family's getting wealthier, the future in the long term. Okay. Number three is now WL as in Larry, FI, which is World Liberty Financial. That would be my most speculative investment because the DeFi platform is not launched yet, but I'm betting on who's writing the rules. Okay. Which is World Liberty Financial, created by Trump boys and Trump. Steve Witkoff and his sons, who now the Trump boys run it and the Witkoff family runs it. Okay. Number four thing that I'm accumulating is on the stock side is American Bitcoin, ABTC. That is Eric Trump's Bitcoin mining and treasury company. And now I'm adding XXI. So on the stock side, my number one and number two are going to be American Bitcoin and XXI. Okay. On the crypto side, it's XRP, Bitcoin, WLFI. My top cryptos in crypto are XRP, Bitcoin, WFI, Solana, XLM, HBAR, and VeChain. I'm going to stick in my zone of genius with those assets. As those assets go up, except Bitcoin, I pull profits. Okay. I'm not price sensitive. I'm not market sensitive. If they go up, I take profits. I pull profits. I max fund my policies. That won't take up all. Say if I pull out 3 million, I'm taking 10% of the 3,300,000. I'm stuffing into the cash generated dividends to do what? Create more cash flow. I'll max fund policies. There'll be money left over. I'll put that into a stable coin, getting ready for absolute fear and panic. And I will buy the fear and panic with the stable coins. And I will buy the fear and panic with leverage, which my cash value still exists. Richest man in Babylon. Okay, that's L. And then DR and capital DR is de-risk, de-risk, de-risk. When I'm in profits, I get money off the table. Okay. Remember, anywhere you're storing your money, anybody who's holding your money is making money off of it. That's it. It's that simple. If somebody's storing your money, they're giving you interest because they're making money. Okay. I like to manage my own income. This is what I like to do. I like to pull my profits. I like to put it into investments that grow. I like to put it into things that I can leverage. I like to put it in things that I can control. and I like having the liquidity for myself, right? And now I'll use that's why I love DeFi. When DeFi comes and gets really solidified, I'm going to be lending out my own crypto. I'm going to be lending, participating with the bank. But anywhere you lock something up, guys, there's obviously a reason why you're getting paid interest, because they're making a margin. It's all hurdle rates. So I'll leave you with this. If you're still here, comment warrior. You're a true warrior. You have to beat inflation. I don't care what you invest in. You have to beat inflation. It's going to cool down. That's going to be the narrative. Trump is going to bring inflation as low as possible. He's going to bring interest rates as low as possible. But who wins? The real estate people, the people holding the hard assets, the people who have assets that become larger when a currency's devaluation happens. Okay, that's why there's probably going to be a market pullback when you see Japan raise rates this Friday, which we'll dive into, is because that's going to suck money out of the markets. Okay, there's a lot of really powerful things happening right now as this transition goes through. So build a system, become disciplined, put your blinders on, clear the noise, stop trying to get rich quick, get a budget, and feed the ecosystem. I love you guys. I appreciate you. If you need any support at all, down the description of my video, you can join our academy, the 3T Warrior Academy. We have tons of programs. We have a free section on the YouTube channel. I basically tell you guys exactly what I'm doing. We are not investing people's money. We educate you, and we're very transparent on what we do, so you can be empowered to make your own decisions. We are an education platform. Okay, we do not invest people's money. Very, very important to understand. So if anybody's reaching out to you on WhatsApp, Telegram, those are all scammers. You don't need a Web3 account. Please be very careful. I love you guys with all my heart. I appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.